favorites, and MOUSESPORTS seem to be in a little bit of a slump. I won't count out MOUSESPORTS just yet. They did pull some amazing stuff. I mean, no one defeated Cloud9 except for MOUSESPORTS on day one. So it's kind of they're kind of like a wild card here, so to speak. Alright, so MOUSESPORTS on the dire side, we have Misery on the Wraith King, we have Pycat on that Faceless Void, MSS on that Razor Pass, Ancient Apparition, of course, last but not least, we have Fata on that Pugna.
Yeah, and over on Team DK, we're going to have Burning handling the Naga Siren, no big surprise there. Mushi is going to be on his Queen of Pain. We've got MMY or Mamoya on the Skywrath Mage, Lanham handling the Lion this time around, and iceiceice on the offlane for off-lane Tidehunter.
Yeah, so you're saying that, oh, Mushi getting caught out, but it's a Queen of Pain, so he will be forced to take Blink level 1. It might mess up his early game laning a little bit, but I don't expect him to fall too far behind as a result of that.
30
so
seconds.
Mushi, luckily for him, he is a Quap, and he will survive the first blood attempt here, but Mouse will stage quite the siege here on the Radiant jungle, and Misery, with all the chilling touch and all ready, has already started using a Clarity Potion, and it does seem like they might run an aggressive tri-lane here.
Yeah, that does leave the other, that leaves the Faceless Void, I think, as the odd man out. He's not going to do well against the Queen of Pain, and he's not going to do well against the Tidehunter, no matter which one he ends up against in lane. So we'll see how Pycat does, but yeah, I think iceiceice is going to do just fine. And this aggressive tri-lane, I like the idea of applying pressure to the Naga Siren early, but and the fact of the matter is that Lion's not necessarily the strongest tri-lane versus tri-lane support, but this does seem to me as a little bit of a gamble. If they lose this tri-lane, then the game could actually be over.
Yeah, if you
here.
screw up your aggressive tri-lane, you are sacking a lot because you can't pull to catch up, you can't stack because you're away from your own jungle, and it's just a huge gamble in general. And well, the Wraith King taking a rather odd route here, and he's going to be chasing down Naga Siren. So Burning, I don't expect him to get a 12-minute Radiance at this point, but we'll see. Pugna getting 3 creeps out of the first wave, and Mushi actually missing all the last hits under the tower. So he's stuck at 0-1 after the first wave compared to the 3-0 on the Pugna. And we'll have to keep our eyes out here on the bottom lane because we might see first blood any second.
Yeah, and the early CS matter a lot here for Mushi as well, since he has gone for a Null Talisman to start things out. So everything matters. Dominating the lane early to get his bottle is going to be really important, and being able to get that counter spam out against the Pugna to maybe be able to go and snag the runes.
Misery looking for an opening here in the bottom lane. We'll really have to keep an eye out there, but we'll shift over to iceiceice, who is now leading the CS chart 6-0. The Void having a rather tough time, seeing that it is a melee hero against a Tidehunter, losing 60% of your base damage. No fun at all. It's like getting enfeebled. And iceiceice is gonna be dominating that lane till I suppose support comes in to save him. And well, Burning not having a good time himself. 0-0 on the creep score.
Yeah, Naga Siren not going to do that well being pressured by this aggressive tri-lane, but nobody's died on DK just yet. I think they have managed to de-ward their pull camp as well, so they're going to be able to get that going in. Both of the 1v1 matchups I think are just fine for DK here as well, so we'll see how long this Mouse tri-lane is going to be able to stick around.
Yeah. The thing is, if Naga stays in the front and she gets jumped upon, I don't think Ancient Apparition, Wraith King and Razor have enough damage to burst down the Naga that quickly because of her high base armor. Even with Chilling Touch, especially with supports landing aid, they should be able to keep the Naga alive. And the Sentry Ward, I'm not sure if it did spot out Ancient Apparition there. I think he was probably out of range, but still, it's not a really strong tri-lane per se. I think it needs Burning to be whittled down a little bit before they can actually try and make a move.
Yeah, I think it's more just about applying pressure to the Naga Siren than it is necessarily about killing.
Slow down his farm. I think that's the only way to deal with it. Oh, Mushi might get the courier here, and he will. Mushi grabs the courier here for the Radiant team, and he might lose his life. But Phaser getting baited there onto the high ground. Mushi draws first blood as well as the courier, and he even gets the kill experience before going down to Fata. So Fata getting some consolation there, but losing his courier, and well, he's gonna get brought down. So Mouse already on the back foot here. Arcane Boots immediately picked up by iceiceice as a result of that. But it does leave the tri-lane open to make a move on the Naga, but Burning says, alright, I'm out boys, I'm level 2, I'm just gonna take what I have and just stay that way. Misery looking for a jump here, Plasma Field, scouting out for targets. There's an Observer Ward sitting around here, so we'll see if they manage to pick up some freebies on their way out. But Burning taking the safe route, hiding in there, and well, Mushi baiting hard there. Nearly messing up because of that decrepit fire.
Yeah, I feel like Mushi might have been able to survive and just give the first blood to the supports and not give a kill in return, but I think it's a minor thing overall. And Mouse, they have a bit of an interesting response to the fact that the DK supports are now roaming and applying pressure to the other lanes. Instead of just immediately pulling the supports off this bottom lane and trying to go and respond, they're actually just going to turn the Bastion on the Razor and try and take this tier 1 tower pretty quickly. But Burning's doing a good job of pulling aggro off, and I think this is going to take them a little bit longer than they expected, and that might actually give the DK supports an opportunity to get another 1 or 2 kills on the other solo lanes.
Well, Lion, level 2 now, so he's got 2 of his strongest, well, not 2 of the strongest disables, but he's got 2 disables up on him. He could look towards Fata here. Mushi being a level up on the Pugna is going to be able to, and Fata does miss his first Meta Blast, so it's gonna be kind of dangerous for him if he's not careful. He has a Nether Ward placed behind, so he might discourage diving, but here comes the concussive shot. The frog is up, and he's getting impaled and right-clicked down. Mushi will pick up a second kill on the mid laner here. And Mouse, they're gonna cancel that TP support. They're unable to save this mid lane. They'll stay on the bottom lane and try and make something happen, but like I said, it's really tough. But iceiceice going for their solo kill. Pycat with the RNG dodges that anchor smash, and we'll see if iceiceice gets out of this pickle. But Misery doesn't really do a lot of damage, only at level 3. iceiceice says, alright, we push on, and I will try and kill you again. Another dodge there on that time lapse. And we have Misery now getting silenced up. He will be the bait instead, and he will go down. So a support saving a carry's life. I don't really think he needed to be there with the dodges on that Faceless Void, but then again, better safe than sorry. But iceiceice, well, you give him a lot of space, eventually he'll try and capitalize and get a solo kill. We see that happening. Burning has not, well, conceded any deaths yet.
Nope.
He hasn't been getting good farm, but he hasn't got any deaths.
And I think this is exactly what we were talking about with the decision to go aggressive being a risky one, that they haven't even necessarily accomplished that much. Yes, Burning only has 8 CS, but the supports have rotated around. They've pretty much secured wins in both of the other lanes, and now Mouse are going to have to kind of mill around on the map for at least 5-10 minutes just to get a little bit of recovery farm before they can really start getting their legs underneath them and get a bit of a push going. The Pugna is still doing okay, but and he's relatively item independent, but still, I think Mouse want to be moving a bit more quickly.
Now, Fata could be jumped here. The Skywrath waiting for him is one of the strengths of the Skywrath, being able to just concussive shot from afar. And here we go, blink in here from Mushi, jumps right in front of him, screams in his face, blows out his ears, and he will fall for the 3rd time this game. Lion picking up that last hit. And well, Pycat on the bottom lane now, shifted there because Tidehunter is just too much for him. So he's gonna fight 1-on-1 against a Naga, another water type hero. And we'll see iceiceice just walk past that Wraith King. Oh, well, you can't do anything to me. One of the downsides of the Wraith King, not enough burst damage in the early game.
Yeah, and Mouse just have no vision on the top side of the map right now, so the DK supports are getting away with whatever they want, and they have an idea of where Misery is. There's going to be another death for the Wraith King.
At him from the anchor as well, and there's a little bit of stabbing coming in from MSS, but the Tidehunter Ravage goes off and Misery gets spiked up and down, and he collapses into a pile of bones. And Lanham, many successful ganks from this dual support. This is the DK that we expected to see on day 1.
Yeah.
Aggressive roaming from MMY and Lanham. And we see it, Mushi having the easiest lane of his life.
Yeah, and there was this great little moment right after that gank where Fata drew a big circle on this section of the map, and he was like, guys, we can't see anything here, and then immediately afterwards Lanham also drew pretty much the exact same circle, and I think that was like, man, they don't have any vision here, let's just keep ganking this area,
just keep wrecking him right there. And well, frustrating to play a mid like that. Oh, there's a little bit of sapping action here from MSS as well as the Tidehunter, but he should be fine. He lost a lot of damage, but he probably won't die here. Big fight coming on here. There's Pycat with the Chronosphere, but is there any kind of follow-up? His teammates that can get touches there. Lanham gonna get caught out. The Plasma Field will blow him up. The Feet of Pain will blink away, but Misery now getting silenced up. Is he gonna be fine? Yeah, he will. No follow-up damage. Gonna be coming out from the Quap, holding on to his Sonic Wave for now. And well, we'll not see any more aggression as of now, but I think Mouse have a game plan change. They are gonna just go for push. We saw Pugna shift down to the bottom lane, and they just used the Nether Blast to push down the towers, and now they're doing the same for mid after getting that one kill off the Cronus here. But iceiceice here to save the day, getting stepped up though in 2 ways, now getting stunned, but that is a very handy Kraken shot, keeping himself alive. iceiceice dropping the angle smash, will he actually survive? Plasma field, it will hit him, so he will die here. The right fire blast going out onto Lanham's Lion, not gonna dive to tier 2s here. MSS taking a arcane bolt to the face, but he'll be fine otherwise. Veta gonna have to start dropping these Nether Blasts onto the tower.
Under attack.
I think Mouse feel that they need to 5-man after how badly the early game went, and it's not a bad decision at this point. I mean, they held onto the tier 1 tower mid, they've taken the tier 1 tower bot, but Mushi's going to apply some slip pressure and just drag them away, and that's where the DK supports can start getting back in and continue to look for pickoffs.
Well, they've only lost 1 tier 1 so far, so it's not too bad for burning. The space you need as a Naga Siren, the more tier 1s up, the better. It's usually the case for these kind of space required, well, these heroes that need a lot of space. So we'll see how DK and the 2 supports and the offlaner decide to make some space. Now they are smoked up and they want to blow someone up, and it looks like the target of destruction will be MSS. There's your concussive shot. I think it's a little bit too far out to actually pursue, so iceiceice got a little bit too close there. The smoke wore off and didn't get any snipes, but still not too big a loss. It's 100 gold down the drain, but they didn't waste a lot of time roaming around, so now they're gonna transition that into a push. The tier 1 middle is really low, so they'll take that out for free, and iceiceice decides to spit at that guy. True iceiceice fantasy, so we'll just chase him away. The intel will come out and they clear a tower, easy peasy, really clean, and they don't lose much out of that. Mushi, meanwhile, going for Necrobo.
Yeah, I thought that this was going to have to be a game for a relatively early BKB from him, but he's actually been doing just fine so far. So long as he stays aware of the Nether Ward, I think this is fine, and it's just another way to continue to split up the map and keep on dragging things out to the almost inevitable late game win for DK if MOUSESPORTS really can't get some momentum going. I was a little bit surprised to see Burning turn up for that push on the mid tier 1, especially given that the tier 1 bot was already gone. He had some safe farming space available there, but I don't think it's a huge deal in the grand scheme of things.
Probably wanted that bailout song to be nearby.
Yeah, I think that was probably the idea.
Yeah. Don't want to get wiped too hard, because that's when MOUSESPORTS can really just take a couple of towers.
And this sucks for Mouse. They just lose a ward up on the top side of the map. Vision has been a really big problem for them up until this point in the game.
The thing with going for huge smokes in these kind of phases of the game is, if you're not in the early game farming, it kinda is suspicious. So now we're gonna zoom out and we'll see Mushi. He could get jumped here. Will we see a quick blink from the M-God? He has been underperforming this tournament, but we'll see. He's had a great game. Plasma Field will check him out. Immediate blink away. But I think that's exactly what Pyke had ordered. It will be a jump in. Will they find him? It's the question. The tower goes down. The Necro units want to get it, and they don't find Mushi. So Mushi's just gonna hide in there. Pyke smells a rat, and he wants it. So we'll see if this guy jumps right over there.
Yeah, and again,
you don't want to stick around too long.
Yeah, and again, Vision has been such a big problem for Mouse. They haven't been very successful in their ganks. They really want to try and get some more pushes going, but all the while, DK are pretty much just out farming them, and it's only going to get harder as we continue to move further into the game. And this Void pick is honestly feeling a little bit unimpressive. Mouse took it early on, and it's not necessarily the greatest for this lineup and how they felt that they had to go aggressive this game.
Another thing is, if has iceiceice's dagger been spotted out?
No, I don't think so just yet.
So this tier 1
I mean, Mouse have all of one ward on the map, right? So I think iceiceice is maybe.
We look at the map here, the map vision. It's mid lane on a destroyed tower. So, well, not too hard for them, and we'll see what they decide to do. Faster TPs out to the middle lane, fearing that push coming from Mushi. So we'll decide to back off. I like how DK are kind of shifting their playstyle to fit the situation. They need some kind of, distraction for Burning to catch up. He's already 4th on the CS charts, catching up with the Tidehunter as well as the Razor on 52 CS. And well, Mushi going for that Necrobolt can actually draw a lot of TP reactions to whoever he is. And with Blink, he's kind of like built in for this kind of split push kind of style. Yep. So he won't be bursting as many people. He's even skipped upgraded boots for the rush Necrobolt. So, yeah, really cute style of play.
Yeah, and Necro 2 already complete for Mushi, so he's doing great. He's on top of the net worth. Poor Pass just came down towards bottom lane to place a ward, but it got spotted by the lane ward, which is just about to expire from DK. So Mao is going to continue struggling for Vision, and Burning doing very well in terms of farm. There's something I want to point out. When he does play his safe lane Naga Siren, he actually maxes out on their yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's getting caught out, but now counter initiation here from Pycat, but really, this Void only has 8 shields, as well some fancy shoes. The finger of that goes out, Lana will take a nice blast, and he will go down. iceiceice feels the call for once, and he will run away. Gets first hit bash, but he did it to people many times this tournament. Will he get brought down is the question. Pycat now running out of damage, will have to actually take a run there, so he will exit, and iceiceice will just stay alive. But the thing is, they do scout out his dagger. The Ravage was blown for that Wraith King kill, and well, it's not nice to be a Wraith King below 6.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, any trades are just more time for DK. Mouse not really pressuring any towers. Just going back to finish up that thought, so Burning, when he does play a safe lane Naga Siren, he tends to maxes out Mirror Image just to help speed up that jungle efficiency just that little bit more, and I think it does actually make a pretty significant in his overall Radiance timing. You still see a lot of safe lane Naga Sirens potentially maxing at Riptide just because it is your early game nuke, but yeah, I'm a fan of what Burning does with the max mirror.
Riptide is a really value one point ability as well. You don't really need to max it. The damage doesn't go up that much. I think it goes up 30. Yeah, 30 per level. The armor reduction is all cool, but usually you just save it at that level 1, level 2 for the last hitting anyway. And the softening of the creeps, it won't really matter as much as compared to the tougher illusions. And iceiceice is getting tased there by that Nether Ward. Now they're still going for the push, the tier 1 tower being really healthy when MOUSESPORTS started on it, so it's going to be making a little bit of time. We'll see if the Naga decides to TP in with the Song, but I doubt it. Burning going to work towards that Relic already at 3.6k despite the bad start. And well, they're going to jump in, they find nobody with that time walk. So MMY, they'll have to surrender that tower, and iceiceice shows himself from that Radiant high ground. And well, we also have free melee for Mouse, that's kind of good. Do they retreat into Roshan? Do they continue farming? Continue farming seems to be the plan of action here. Misery, level 6 at last.
Yeah, MOUSESPORTS still so desperately need a pick-off. They got the tier 1 mid, but they traded 2/3 of the health, or even 3/4 of the health on their top tier 2 for it, and the split pushing Queen of Pain is actually working wonders for DK right now. And like you said, Burning is just being relatively uncontested. He's got that Relic online, and that means that pretty much at this point the Radiance is inevitable. And Mouse are not in a position to even force tier 2s.
She's been in the jungle all this time, so it's like, oh guys, alright guys, we got some towers. Oh, hello pause. Something that has not popped up as much this TI. I think got a shout out to the production crew for that. But we do have the occasional wire kicks, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so now we have a little bit of time to talk. I wonder if the audience actually managed to spell Radiance yet, because we talked about it, how Burning gets his relic so quick before you can spell Radiance. I see some people getting to D, having about to say the
Not
I.
quite.
Yeah, but yeah, Burning pretty effective when it comes to farming when left to himself. I guess this shows other teams that, you know, you can pressure Burning, but
well, it doesn't even seem like he was, right? 15-minute relic is just fine, and I think MOUSESPORTS just didn't really. They saw the Naga Siren, they focused on it a whole lot, but the other lane matchups were just never. The other lanes were not crushing enough wins for the strength of their tri-lane. DK are not going to be fighting your tri-lane head-on. We saw exactly what their plan was. They just moved around, they ganked with the supports, they forced Mouse to scatter, and they just haven't been able to regroup ever since. And at this point, I don't know what Mouse can do to win this game. It feels like it's going to be another typical Naga Siren victory. Radiance comes online.
1,000 cuts.
Exactly.
And well, the thing is, I feel that aggressive tri-lane would have worked if they went for something else other than a Ancient Apparition. I mean, Ancient Apparition is great when you have the triple range and some good stuns and disables. But the thing is, the DK supports just completely did not try to contest any part of this early game. You see this part of the Radiant side, they did not go past this point much. They just stuck together as a team. They hid in the trees, did not confront any of the Mouse supports. No chances for them to get a hit, and the only one in vision range was Naga, and even then she was hiding behind the trees with her 7 armor. So if you want to dive that, you have a lot of pain on your hands if TP comes in. So it was a really smart play from DK. It kind of reminded me of that Na'Vi game where they had Havost with that sniper and solo Skyra support that somehow fended off an aggressive tri-lane. Mouse really needed to pick something aggressive, something maybe we think about along the lines of Undying. He recently got a immortal upgrade for himself, so maybe we have one of that in a pocket strat. Undying would have been really strong in these kind of dives, but not a Ancient Apparition, not a Wraith King. Wraith King doesn't really offer that burst damage required, like we said. And well, they are getting to reconnect that in, so we don't have to ramble on so much and jump right back into the game. So hopefully it was just a minor issue of, you know, kicking the wires and we can get back to our game.
Yeah, had they had a slightly better pushing support on bottom lane, I think the call that they made to just try and force in the tier 1 tower, get a little bit of early gold, and then start to move around and respond to DK would have been okay, but as we saw, the DK supports were accomplishing a whole lot, and Mouse were just ineffectively slapping the tower now and then down on bot, and oh, well, here comes.
Oh, Misery getting caught out here. There's your queen screaming at him. Misery gonna be decrepitified. Saving his buddy for just a while now. Getting a bottle charge as well. Misery, he's gonna try, but he's getting mana burn. One more hit from the Necro unit could bring him down, but he wastes the reincarnation. So level 1 reincarnation, long cooldown. It will slow the Necro units, but will he stay alive is the question. And while the Queen of Pain continues his ratting and ironically enough against MOUSESPORTS. So, well, Mushi, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how well he continues to evade the enemy aggression. MSS, he's finally got his mechanism, as has iceiceice, and the Tidehunter only level 10 so far. Want to get that level 11 Ravage for that slightly higher burst damage as well as stun time.
I honestly think it might have been better for Misery to have just died with no mana there. The reincarnation, he got no value out of it, and now he's not going to be able to play aggressively at all in this next fight. Instead, he could have just taken a 20-something second respawn time.
Hey, you gotta take in the embarrassment factor of dying to a range creep then. Oh, there's your blink, there's your Ravage, nice, jams it in, good. Finger of Death to follow up as well. Mouse lose 2, but they drop a Chronosphere with the Wraith King already dead. Burning comes here, says no fun at all. Lady Naga lays down the law, and they will immediately back out after snagging a very tasty Nether Ward. And Tycat didn't really get much value. Well, actually they got a lot of value from that. They got the Queen of Pain and a Tidehunter, so I'd say it's a pretty good trade. I might have got ahead of myself there, but they did get some pretty good trades. But the thing is, they lost their partner, so they might have a harder time bringing down more towers at the end of this. They'll get a tier 1, but pushing for tier 2 is a very tough choice.
I think all DK needed there was the Song of the Siren to come out a little bit faster. Had the Song of the Siren immediately came out as soon as the Chronosphere was used, then I'm not even sure if DK would have lost a single hero, let alone 2, and then that would have been an absolutely fantastic fight for them. They could have even maybe used the song to start things out, and then as we saw, you can just use the illusions to kill the Nether Ward during the song and then take the fight, because Mushi did take a lot of damage on the ward there with his ult though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Sonic Wave, you take about 500 to yourself, so yeah. You have to be really careful when casting these big spells. We haven't seen Mystic Flare being thrown around just yet, so no. I'm waiting for that Blade Mail on MMY, you know, use it and then pop that Mystic Flare in front of a Nether Ward and blow Punkner up. So we might see something happen, but I don't think it's going to be a Blade Mail. Ladder, he does not have Finger of Death. 70 seconds left on that. Finger of Death is kind of like it's kind of something, it's a resource. You want to blow the cooldown as fast as possible, especially at level 1 because of its power. For a level 6 ability, you want to use it as quick as possible. It's made up for its cooldown, so the faster you use it, it's kind of like Midas, you get a kill every time you use it, and you want to use it as many times as possible, as quick as possible. Despite that little bit of exchange, DK still lead the network with 3 of their heroes, with Queen of Pain sitting at the top, and Naga catching up now. 7,000 rings. Mouse just grabbed himself no shot, so that's always nice, but hey, do spell Radiance.
Yeah, and Burning was close to the top of net worth even without his Radiance, and his farm is only going to skyrocket from here. Wow, look at MOUSESPORTS. Misery has realized that, look, we didn't win this game in 20 minutes with our Pugna push strategy. Burning is going to force us to take this lane with his Radiance, so I am going to buy on my support Wraith King a Hand of Midas.
I don't know about that. I thought it was going to be a Blink. Oh, Lion. And the thing is, there's a Lion in this game, so you just get drained of all his mana. And the chances of him reviving... Well. Yeah, the Necrobook is a kind of It's kind of a multi-purpose tool, this game. You make space as well as burn the Raid King's mana, so really clever item progression here from the DK squad. And Tidehunter going for a straight refresher, I imagine. Maybe a pipe.
Yeah, and you can't ignore the D-ward factor on the Necronomicon either. Mushi, when he goes to a lane, he pops in the Necrobook, he has a little bit of a scout around, make sure that he's not being spotted, and because of that, not only is he applying good pressure to the tower, but he also feels really secure to stick around, and he can start moving either the Lion or the Scarith Mage into position to try and grab whoever comes and defends. And again, MOUSESPORTS, well, they've got a couple of wards up here and there right now, but none of them really extending over onto the DK side of the river, and they still haven't really been able to get any ganks together. The only time that they found DK and picked up kills are when DK have come to them. Yeah.
Void going for an Aghanim Scepter, so he's gonna go for the short chrono cooldowns, and oh wow, Ray Fire Blast down to that misery, and there's your impale into the finger of Death. Ladder getting a little bit handsy here, gets the Hex here on the Razor, drains his mana away, but I think he's gonna pay, and pay he will. A little bit too excited that I think he miscalculated, but at least he gets the Reincarnation down. It's kind of a kill for a kill at this point, because the Reincarnation is a very long cooldown for the Raid King at this point, but still, he feeds his life away. And something we didn't talk about is how the heck did he get a Blink Dagger so quick? I mean, he got it 2 minutes ago, but that was really quick.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a couple of deaths, but plenty of kills and assists, and I think the tower gold has gone a long way as well. But despite all of that, still props to land him. 24 CS, even at this point of the game, is not too shabby. I think he helped clear out a little neutral stack a bit earlier as well, so that's definitely gone a long way. And he's got his Blink Dagger on top of that. Staff of Wizardry already complete, and well, Mouse, they're moving forward a little bit, but these tier 2 pushes are going to be very, very difficult, and they're about to lose their tier 2 top. So yeah. MSS gonna have to TP in.
He does have mana as well, so no plasma field, but as if the next wave comes in, he will have a little bit of trouble. He has to tank a lot of this, and he will not be there to support his team, so as a result, they will not be able to push to tier 2. But the thing is, Pycat, he does have that point booster, so he will be getting that Aghanim Scepter, like we said, and I think it's an okay build this time around. There's an Ice Blast going down, so it's not gonna catch him. But up top, MSS getting caught out, screaming in his face, and well, not in range of Nether Ward, so they blow up the ultimates while they have the opportunity, and you immediately see the ping coming out from the Wraith King saying, hey, we need to push bottom, the ultimates are down, let's go, and he's the only guy there.
And that's the other thing that we didn't really talk about, though it is fairly obvious. The Ancient Seal has such nice synergy with the Queen of Pain and the Lion this game. It makes it really, really easy.
Who should we blow up?
Yeah.
There's your marker there.
Take your choice. I mean, there's nobody on MOUSESPORTS right now that's going to survive through the burst damage, and that could be the one problem for Pycat this game. He is going in towards that, the Aghanim Scepter, but the problem could become there's going to be Mystic Flare getting dropped inside his Chrono. There's always going to be a chance that the Lion isn't caught, and it means that it's not really all that likely to get a whole lot of right-click damage out, especially if it comes down to a full 5-on-5. PKBs are going to be really essential for Mouse if they ever want to break up onto the high ground.
Yeah, and Pycat with this Aghanim Scepter as well as the Aghanim Scepter done of Pugna, Plasma Field, Ice Blast, I think they got quite a lot of stuff to throw into their Chronosphere pot this game. Some games when you get Aghanim Scepter, you just wonder why, because there's really nothing else to do inside Chronosphere. But this game, I think Pugna's Life Drain could be overlooked sometimes. It does do a whopping amount of damage, 240 per second, 300 at the max level, and Pugna is doing pretty well this game. Despite his many deaths, he's got good amount of farm. He's got an Aegis as well. Perhaps it's time to use it, maybe give up some towers. The way of dealing with Rat Dota in the early stages before the Naga gets big is to try and get as many trades as possible and push into their base. Because if you just keep running back, they're okay with that. They just run back, okay, we farm, wait for Necrobots come online, and we see just that. Tier 2 tower gonna be lost right here, and Aegis only a minute left on that. So MOUSESPORTS are running out of ideas here.
The only thing that we haven't talked about is just how good the Pugna is actually at. Oh, never mind. Producer coming in.
Oh, okay. Song, MMY, is Skyrush, should stay alive, but everyone just gets out. Fun ends. And the Ray Fire Blast will go after Necro units instead. So Mouse pretty much just TP'd back at the right time to save their tier 2. It wasn't a bad trade for them, but no one actually dies. So like I think someone said earlier that Naga is really good. I think someone on analyst that said that, asking that question, how big, what is bigger than Chronosphere? And so the reply was Naga Song, and well, Naga Song starting to get pretty absurd. Same as the reincarnation at level 16, 60-second cooldown. You've got a minute of time after the song goes to get something done. Otherwise, you have to get 5 BKBs on your team or risk getting focused down by that Naga Song. So, Burning, we saw him with the Radiance at 19, and he has Boosted Travels and Yasha at 25.
Yeah, and he almost has his Manta style complete as well. Jump in top lane, they're draining at Misery a little bit, but just gonna be forcing him back here.
I like how Lanham is going for the mana drain build here. It's really, really potent. It jumps from, oh nope, never mind, hold that thought. Nope, gets impale right onto Pycat. Pycat doesn't have his Chronosphere. I was wondering why the hesitation. And now Lanham, he's gonna play Juke in the trees, and he will. Pycat getting outplayed there by Lanham, the captain. Oh, you could say captain. Drop to DK. And then
bottom lane, bottom.
He sees them, his hand rolls to the side there. Tidehunter looking for the Misery kill. Is he really gonna go for iceiceice? There's a net here on Misery. They're gonna run. They're trying to chase the Watermelon Man, but it's not gonna happen. But FV actually blows up the Skyrim Mage there. Pycat getting a much needed kill. 400 gold from his Academic Scepter. The Ice Blast gonna hit a bunch of creeps, but the tower's already shattered down. Queen of Pain doing a great job this game. Normally we don't encourage Red Dota, but this is one of those really well executed split pushes here that Mushi has been doing. And well, it's a Queen of Pain. It's nice to see it once in a while being played in this style.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Definitely nice to see the Queen of Pain. Hardly ever picked. Going back to just the thoughts about MOUSESPORTS, yeah, the Song of the Siren is so nice to have against the Chronosphere this game. Pugna, I think, is deceptively good against Naga, especially when you've got once you have your Aghanim Scepter for the life drain. You can instantly, well, not only do you do a lot of damage, but you can instantly kill illusions whenever you want to. So if you have the mana pool to sustain it, which he definitely does, you can just be spamming down, getting the illusions. If you're at full HP, you're also draining mana, so it's very sustainable. And also the pushing aspect is fantastic. Sometimes if you can get ahead of the Naga Siren enough, you can just end the game in 20 minutes before she has any kind of impact. Though looks like this time around MOUSESPORTS going to have to take it just that little bit longer. They are getting some more items up. Aghanim Scepter complete, and the other nice thing for MOUSESPORTS is that they actually have a lineup with a lot of push, so even if they get stuck on their side of the map, if they end up winning a fight, then they can always potentially barrel down the lane and maybe pick up a lane of Rack, just because they are eventually going to get an Aghanim Scepter on their Razor, and Pugna is always great for push.
Once Disco comes down, you will actually be able to take buildings really fast, like you said. And the thing about DK is they always have this kind of games where the score doesn't look too bad. You look at it and say, oh, they're not too far behind Mouse. And then you put up this chart and, you know, oh, well, the 2 kills does really matter. Double damage. On that Queen of Pain, do we see on here? No Hex on Mushi, he's going for it right now. 2000 gold. There's your Necrobooks being dumped on the ground, and this tier 2 will not be long for life. iceiceice with the Intimidation Blink, and now with the TP support, the Wraith King comes in looking for a kill. There's gonna be a Wraith Fire here. There is no fight. Gonna keep himself pretty healthy for now. There's gonna be a stack of damage, a good Earth Spike, but missing on the Razor there. The Concussive Shell will slow him down. MSS says, alright, time to book it. I've got 168 damage. I'm just gonna live with it. Naga Siren killing off the Pugna on the top lane. I think he could have gotten away with a self-decrep there and TP. But, oh yeah, I think there was a song used there to stop his TP, so I guess...
So I think the song was used earlier, but yeah, I think his TP got cancelled as he was trying to make it down to
because self-decrepifying will remove the net.
Yes.
So, Ensnare has a very interesting mechanic. It's a physical disable. It's a really weird thing. Dota is a hard game, harder than English. Naga Siren Illusion adding some pressure to the top lane. And now Mushi can have a little bit of a back seat when it comes to the push, because Burning has taken over with 17,000 net worth.
Yeah. Ravage ended up being used bottom lane, but not a whole lot of follow-up from DK, so iceiceice is just gonna have to TP back, but all the while, Burning is burning some creeps, burning some lanes, and MOUSESPORTS find themselves slowly but surely forced back into their base.
I'd like to say that there are Naga counters, but Naga just adapts to these counters once it gets to a certain point. And there's no impale, the finger, MSS getting dropped there with all the ultimates, and once again, Netherwatt is not present, and one Chronosphere for Lanham. Why not? That guy deserves it with the amount of hurt he has been laying on the team, and MMY tries to slow it down with a concussive shot, but is unable to save his buddy. And Mushi His 3, 2, and 4 has not really died a lot this game, but really he has been assisting a lot in the pushing and the space making. So not as many kills as you would see from, say, Yamate's Queen of Pain, but he's been doing a good job. Now Mushi going 1-on-1 against Sparta, getting life drained away from him. 200 health left, and the Naga Illusion landing 8, burning landing 8 from across the map. And he might actually go down here. The Radiance Bud is going to be enough. I think it will. No, but the Shadow Strike rings him down. Mushi gets a frag, and Mushi gonna find that illusion rune. So a little knife play, he says. Meanwhile, middle lane spits at the Misery. Wraith King, he losing mana to the Necrovox. He's out of mana for his ultimate now, and it's just so annoying. But I think that Midas. Oh shit! Why would you do that, Misery? Can you not count to 600? I don't know. Oh, that was kind of comical. Fails of the week we are looking at here.
Yeah, and Mouse, I mean, DK have made them look. They've made them look useless this game. I'm gonna come out and say it. They look like they had no place.
You kind of look like fools.
I think part of the skill difference also goes back to what we were talking about with the draft decisions and the laning decisions for MOUSESPORTS. None of the lanes were really wins. They didn't really accomplish what they wanted to out of the early game, which was pushing and shutting down the Naga Siren. And now we find ourselves in a situation that we're...
Oh, here comes the boy. It just trapped iceiceice, but iceiceice is just a very unripe watermelon, not ready for splitting. Do they kill him? That's the question. The Ice Blast still on him. He's gonna mech up. Oh, at the last few seconds, I think iceiceice is gonna fall here. Yes, he will. Will not have any panic ravage to save himself. And Mouse do pick up a much needed kill on the space maker iceiceice.
It's almost kind of whoop-de-doo. We got the kill on the on the Tidehunter, but we haven't dealt with the actual problem, which is the non-stop Queen of Pain and Naga Siren stick push. And MOUSESPORTS still getting a couple of items here and there, but I'm still not feeling very optimistic for them in this game, just because DK are getting far more out of the map. They're farming both jungles, they're farming all the lanes, and Mouse are only getting the scraps that DK kind of leave behind.
Out of Trask on that Naga. The game is, I think the game is past fun for Lanham. Oh, getting Great Fire Blast there, a little bit sloppy, dreaming for a second. Now he's gonna take an Ice Blast to the face, and well, Pass is gonna get a nice kill across the map. Haven't really talked about his Academ Scepter as well, so he does have that. So it's quite a bit amount of extra damage, extra help when it comes to the team fights. Really lowers the DK health cap and prevents any meching from going out. So iceiceice mech'd at the wrong second, I think, for that escape. He could have gotten out, I would imagine. He got that. Oh wow, Mushi killing off the Wraith King again. I guess with a Hex as well as the Necro units, you really don't have the mana. Well, this Wraith King not reviving as many times as he would like. Reincarnation just off cooldown all the time.
Yeah, Wraith King's not going to be happy, and he's only going to get... there's only worse news on the horizon. Burning probably going to be picking up a Diffusal Blade at some point, and then I just don't know what Mouse can do. And DK picking up the final pieces of the puzzle to be able to push up onto the high ground and kind of close up this game. They've got the gem over in the Scarab Mage. They've already had a pipe on iceiceice for a little bit, and he's able to start working in towards a Refresher Orb as well. And meanwhile, MOUSESPORTS, well, there is the beginnings of an Academ Scepter over on MSS, but all of their cores are just being dwarfed and farmed by all three of DK's.
Check out these fancy Scream of Pain icons as well. But the thing is, Queen of Pain can just hide in trees now, wait for someone to come by, hex you up, drop the Necros on you, and just kill you. Yeah, I mean, there's really little he can do at this point as the underfarm support. Even Faces Void, if he doesn't get a couple of lucky backtracks, he will die. And, well, Lion, feeling really brave as a support Lion. He has an Eel Scepter, a Blink Dagger, one of those kind of supports that really aren't supports, just getting all that farm in the world. Same like, I think we have players like EGM who have the similar amount of farm, and now MSS might be a bait here against Mushi. We'll see. Pycat about to show himself here. Oh, Queen of Pain actually blinks out there to scream. Are they gonna make any move on her is the question. And I think now Mushi will just get a whole wave full of farm. Yummy, yummy. Oh, nope, there's your Chronosphere. Where's the Ice Blast flying across the map? It's gonna be coming. Mushi, will he get hit in time is the question. Here comes the Ice Blast. He will get a couple of bashes on the way out. Pycat is dominating that Academ Scepter paying dividends. And iceiceice now gonna be chopping down this tower with MMY. Tries to steal it, he will get it. So that's how to get all the farm. That's how to get all the farm. But it's a mushy kill. It's just a mushy kill. It's a big deal. But do you stop the Naga is the real question. Burning is 1-0-3. He's doing his job as a hard carry. Why am I looking at buyback status? We need to look at net worth.
And the answer is still definitely no. The Naga Siren is far from being dealt with. Up to level 18 now, so they've got that rank 3 Song of the Siren available, and well, Mao's still seeing a heck of a lot of the inside of their base right now. I'd really like to see a gem up on somebody.
Oh, Misery. Getting caught out. Drain out of reincarnation rate. No, he will get it still. I think there's stick chance spread on his side, maybe. Now he's getting redrained. Highcat will drop the Chronosphere. MMY will probably pay the price. He will let him as well. Well, the brothers too will take a fall here. This is the and Naga Illusion's gonna cause a lot of trouble for Misery here. I'd like to see some Diffusal Blades, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
And Mao's find a few more kills, still definitely signs of life from them, and getting close to finishing up those. Well, they've got the Aghanim Scepter now in MSS. Highcat is going to be able to afford a BKB finish if he wants it. Also, Mjolnir probably going to be something that he considers this game just to help clear out the waves and keep pushing into the Naga Siren. And yeah, Roshan is also up, so a little bit of an opportunity here for Mouse, perhaps.
The Midas was a good pickup in the early game. It was a good gamble as well. If DK decided to just sack everything and go all in, they could have been in a little bit of trouble, but now it's starting to pay off a little bit. Yeah, he got picked up by Mushi a couple of times, but it's gonna be later and later, and he could really use the farm. And Mushi pick up a Shiva's God, maybe could be an Assault Cuirass the way that he has been playing Rodent style. I don't know, Mushi, yeah, he's a changed man. He used to be that all aggressive Yamate style, and now he has taken to reading as well as hiding.
He plays with his team needs, that's the biggest thing. iceiceice is gonna get jumped out of
Spacemaker, Darrow's Spacemaker. He drops the Ravage. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That Ravage was very unnecessary, and I think he tried to cancel. I'm not sure. Maybe he does these kind of things all the time. But that Ravage, a big misplay there from iceiceice. Now MOUSESPORTS know. All right, big ultimate's down. Even if he buys back, he will not be a threat. And well, Mushi has to make more space, I guess.
Yeah, I think the thing for DK as well is that they do kind of need to appreciate that there will come a time where they're gonna have to probably close out this game. I don't think they're too worried. We have seen the burning, 8 or 9 slotted Naga Siren, and his decision making in the later stages of the game is just absolutely impeccable. So there's always that kind of problem for Maz.
Great timing there on the Ice Blast, and Mushi might not die. It was so good. Bash a couple of more times. No, Highcat, he could pay, and he will pay. He dodges the Sonic Wave. Oh man, the RNG in this guy is so strong, but he's still done. Nonetheless, the Impale will end his dominating spree, but that was some serious RNG right there.
That value plate mail.
Value plate mail. 10 armor, man. Pretty good.
Save
Refresh drop for iceiceice. He took a little longer to get that than needed, but it's still pretty good for an offlaner. 2, 4, and 5. Not too much dying. A lot of farming as well. 189 CS. He stacked the ancients for himself, and he got some good farms. Still, Roshan left untouched this game, apart from that one time with MOUSESPORTS getting that early Aegis and really not making much out of it. But now, he can look to seal the advantage here by taking this Roshan. And I don't know. We talked about Mouse not being able to manage any of this. And it does sure seem like they're definitely fighting on their side of the map for the longest time.
Okay, and I really like this from DK as well. They really know exactly the timing that they were aiming to hit. They wanted the core items of the Naga Siren. They've got their gem up. They've got the refresher. And in their mind, there is no reason to drag this game out any longer. They've got a couple of other matches that they need to play today.
On the ground.
Yeah, somebody should probably go and snag that. There you go. Mushi's gonna get his hands on it. But yeah, we've seen other teams in this tournament. I think notably Liquid, get ahead and win games, and then sort of struggle to close them out, if you catch my meaning. And I think DK are showing that, look, they know exactly when their moment is to strike, and that they're not afraid to do so, which is a big strength for them.
Yeah. Burning Naga, he just like to get 6 slotted, look at that ending score screen, smile to himself.
Dire structures are fortified.
26,000 net worth. really big smiles all around. GPM about to breach 700, and we'll look at buybacks at this point in the game, where we have the Queen of Pain, buyback, Razor, Faceless Void, Naga of course, Lanham having a buyback as well, and Skyrov actually hovering between yes and no. So we'll see what happens here. Most of MOUSESPORTS can't buyback, so they have to be very, very surgical when it comes to the next fight. I don't know how surgical you can be when there's a Naga to reset the board at any time, and Mushy with 2 lives, but well, Mouse, they gotta impress, and they gotta impress now. They're not looking good in terms of score. 1 and 5. I think if you drop to 1 and 6, your chances of promoting to phase 3 are gonna be really low, because the best you can get out of that is 9 and 6, and even then, it's kind of like a pipe dream winning 9 games in a row here. It could happen. It could always happen, but it's gonna put them in a really dangerous spot.
Yeah, and right now, Mouse, they do, I think DK do need to pay them at least a little bit of respect, because there are multiple BKBs up now, and there is the Chronosphere as well, so they need to be careful, but at the same time, DK also know how to play the zero commitment push style. They can send illusions up onto the high ground, take some damage off the tower, back off, stay safe, never take any risks, and no, it's up to MOUSESPORTS to try and break out of this hold if they possibly can. Father's doing a good job, like we were talking about, of just nuking down,
illusions.
Yeah, nuking down illusions.
But you were talking about this during lunch. Now Naga's like, I'm okay with just
50 damage,
50
no problem.
damage in there. Just take a brick off your tower one by one. Naga just blew up the Red King with the Diffusal Swarm there. Father running out of mana actually. That's how much draining he's been doing. Really draining for his hero actually. And the Naga illusion's going to roll on in and well, pull a few bricks from the mid tower and then go up top, pull a few bricks from there, and slowly but surely the Mouse Kingdom will take a fall.
Yeah, this is really painful to watch. This is the part that I hate the most about Naga Siren games. I don't mind the hero in general, I don't mind the lane pressure, things like that, but the worst is just watching towers die.
You're up high, Cat. Faceless Void. That's your Chronosphere out of the count. No buyback. He just bought his BKB. And BKB is no use when you're a frog, because the frog doesn't know how to turn that thing on. And without the Chronosphere, I don't know how they're gonna hold. There is still double Ravage on the line here. I think iceiceice is going in. Here comes the Kraken. That's 1. That's number 2. A little bit slow there. MSS actually got off his BKB, and so did Fata. And now iceiceice might pay the price here. He's just trying to clap his way out of this, but it's not gonna happen. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, MMY trying to right-click the tower, taking some Nether Blast damage. Please stay away from tower range, and Ice Blast comes in, and this could be the end of him. Oh, the Ice Blast misses there, and he will survive. One more tower strike. 0 armor is not good armor, and somehow Fata gets the kill for that because of the Nether Blast. And now Fata decreps himself. He doesn't actually get out of the net though. It should not work like that. The song comes out, says no fun. Burning says I'm tapping out. 1/3 health gone. Too dangerous for me. And I don't know about the I didn't know Decrepify didn't remove the net. It should actually. Maybe it's just the Ghost Scepter. It should.
Yeah, it definitely should.
It might be a bug.
It's supposed to.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if it means if you're decrepified and then you get netted, maybe it's not removed. I know that it's supposed to, but maybe time for some testing in lobby after this game. But DK, they invest a whole lot there. They, in a sort of clowny way, lose MMY, and the double Ravage is invested for not too much. But at the same time, Mouse can't even break outside of their base. Song resets everything, and as the dust settles, we find that they are short 1 ranged Drax and a couple of tier 3s. So yeah, this is looking pretty grim for them at this point.
iCat goes for a solo smoke out in the woods, and Ladham, yep, he's gonna pay. And that's not his plan for this one. He just gets bashed down in the globe. Now he falls asleep. And well, you snooze, you lose. Oh, he picks up the gem. Maybe he gets out of there. There's a net, there's a jump. He will jump away. He still has BKB to build himself out. And I don't think Burning is gonna try and push this. Despite having the extra 285 bonus damage, he's just gonna go, okay, I'm gonna pick your tier 3. Chronosphere is down. I know it's a minute cooldown, but it's more than enough time for me to push this tower down. Now I'm going for your Rex, and what are you gonna do without this difficult engagement? And there's a BKB, there's a Lion coming in. iceiceice says, I'm gonna TP out, and he will TP out in time. Tier 3 towers, as well as the Rex up top will fall. Mushy just playing the full rat. He went for Shivas, but in the end, and a Naga, he says GG with the Ancient, and Ancient. Sick and tired of this game. Naga, looking for a good hero, and well, MOUSESPORTS, they had this for the last 20 minutes, I think, and they just got pigeonholed slowly. Naga just pressed them into a corner, starved them off the map. Pycat did keep them in the game for a while with the Academ Scepter, but you know, it wasn't enough. And when your partner push fails, we talked about the aggro trialing not working out, that's when you really crumble down.
And if DK win too many more matches with the Burning Naga sound, we might have to start seeing some bans on it, and that could be...
This is the first time he picked it.
Yeah, this is the first time so far in
strats.
TI, but if they... I mean, again, if they win a couple more matches with it, you could probably expect to start seeing the bans.